months ago, I shared a technique that is called touching and burning for skin retouching. Truth is, you can use this method for other genres in photography. I shoot a lot of travel and cityscapes, and I use this technique almost in every images. Touching and burning can help you to fix the light inside of your image, but it will also help you to add a contrast very naturally by using this technique. So let's jump into Photoshop and I'm going to show you how to use it. Here in Photoshop we are going to edit this photo, so I've already been doing some editing on it. Here is the raw image without any editing. Here is the step after doing the initial adjustment in camera, and here I've been doing some editing, so sky replacement, some color grading, adding some stars and stuff like that. And now we are going to do the dodge and burning technique. So the goal with the dodge and burn, in this case, because that's not always the same goal, here in this case we are going to want to emphasize the darker area and to also emphasize the lighter area. So it will help to create more contrast, and you're gonna see that it's also going to help to add more sharpness to the image. So here is how you do a dodge and burning. There are different ways to dodge and burn. Here I'm going to show you the one I always use. So you want to create a new layer, Command Shift N on your keyboard, and then you write dodge and burn, and for the mode you go on soft light and then you click on fill with soft light neutral color 50% gray. You check this box and you click OK. If you want, in the description I will add an action for you to just play action, and it will create automatically this layer for you. That's free to download, that's in the description. So now that we have our 50% gray layer, we are going to use brushes. So B on your keyboard or brush on the toolbar. Here we are going to use an opacity of 5%. If it's too much, we are going to adjust it. Why do I use opacity and not flow? I made a video about the difference between opacity and flow. We need to brush very precisely and one stroke at a time, so that's why I'm using opacity and not flow. So refer to my video about the difference between flow and opacity if you want to learn more about that. So we are going to start with the shadows. So I'm gonna choose a black color, and now I'm going to brush all the parts where it's dark. So what you can do is to start with a general brushing of the image, and then we're gonna do details. So let's start. I'm gonna use a hardness of 20%, something like this, and I start brushing. I want this area to be more in the dark because it's in the shadows. Okay, this area as well. Let's see the before after already. So you can see it already helps to add more contrast. Now I'm gonna start. I'm not going to brush white because all the bright area are already very bright, so I don't want to lose too many details. So here I'm not going to do a general light brushing. I'm going to add some shadows on this part of the church. That's actually a monastery. I'm not sure what is the name. Monastery, yeah, I'm not sure. And I'm starting to add details. So adding details takes time, but you're gonna see at the end it does helps the edit a lot. So yeah, that depends if you wanna spend time adding details and adding to your edit. So if you are more into doing quick edits, but in this case I'm not sure why you ended up on this video, because I'm all about details and taking the times. I think that's very important. Here, if you want to make sure that you are not brushing on the light, you can create a selection. So as you can see, that's a quick selection, nothing super precise, but it will help to don't go into the light. Okay, select, okay. And now I'm brushing black again. Yeah, nice. So you can see before and after. If you want to see what you've been brushing, you can just click Option, click on your mask, and here this is everything we did on the dodge and burn layer, before and after. So now we are going to work on the shape, the architecture of the monastery here. And we are going to emphasize all the shadows. So everything that is, you know, in the shadows of the architecture. Sorry, I'm not sure what is the name of all of that. So yeah, I'm brushing, you can hear. I'm using a tablet that's much easier for this kind of job. So we are really just emphasizing shadows and light on the architecture, and you're gonna see that it's going to help with sharpness and contrast. Let's see before and after. Can you see before and after? It really helps to add depth in the colors in the architecture. Before and after, before and after. So here we've only been working on light so far. Before, after. Perfect. So now we're gonna keep doing our work on the buildings here. Still working on shadows so far. To be honest, the more time you're gonna spend, the best the effect will be. So if you wanna spend 2 hours on it, that's a bit much, but honestly, the more time you spend, the more detailed you are, the better the effect will be. Here I'm not gonna spend forever because I don't want a tutorial that lasts ages, because that's just to show you the technique. But we're still gonna do a good enough job for you to show you that dodge and burning can really help your image to look better. Also to show you how this technique works. But you know that if you have the time and you wanna try this technique, you can spend a lot of time doing it, and especially when you are just starting out, it can be a bit longer because you're not sure what to brush and what to not brush. So I'm using Command Plus to zoom in my image. Here I'm darkening the roof to help emphasize the little light that comes on it. I've been brushing on the light, and that's a mistake. if you think you've been too far and you want to erase a bit of the effects, just click Option, click on your mask, then sample the gray color and brush where you think it's been too far. For me here, I think I've been a little bit too much. Okay, and then click Option, and you can also do it by looking at the image if it's easier for you. Before and after. Before and after. Before and after. I think it's also a bit too much here. I'm not going to go further for this tutorial because the purpose was just to show you how that works. But here you can see that it really helps to add contrast and depth to all of the buildings. Now after that, I would just sharpen the image. So Command Option Shift E to flatten the image on top of all of the layers. Go to Filter, Other, High Pass, and here I'm gonna choose 3 pixels. So what I want is to see only the details, no colors, only details. I click OK, and then I would choose something like Overlay, Soft Light, or Hard Light. Here I kind of like Hard Light. And then I'm going to use a mask, Option Click, so I don't see the effect anywhere. And then with 100% opacity, I'm going to brush where I want the eyes to focus on and where I want the most important part of the image to be sharpened. So for me, that would be here and a part of the building here. Yeah, I like it. Before and after. I'm not sure that on YouTube you can see the difference, but I can tell you that the difference is huge. So here with the 2 layer before and after, just with 2 layer dodge and burning and the sharpness, you can see that we can add a lot to one image. If you want to learn in-depth photo editing from the basics to advanced technique in Photoshop and in Lightroom and Camera Raw, you can check out my 3-week course coming in June. All the information are in description. I hope you learned something in this video. If it's the case, please add a comment and like the video. It helps my channel to grow. And if it's not done yet, subscribe to don't miss the next video. See you in the next one.